Everybody with Angela Williamson is made possible by Fireheart Pictures and viewers like you. Thank you. Indie films, short for independent films, are movies that are produced outside the mainstream film industry. According to the Casting Calls website, indie films offer greater opportunities for creative expression than its counterpart. Tonight we meet two actors who will share their experiences in indie films. I'm so happy you're joining us.
From Los Angeles, this is KLCS PBS. Welcome to Everybody with Angela Williamson, an innovation, arts, education, and public affairs program. Everybody with Angela Williamson is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you. And now your host, Dr. Angela Williamson.
Alan Delabie is our first guest. Alan, thank you so much for being here.
It's a huge pleasure for me.
Well, it's a pleasure for me as well. And not only that, but for our audience too, because you actually flew here to finish the third in a trilogy of the movies that you've written and produced, right? Mm-hmm. So how did you start with this series? Acting, I mean, independent film is so important.
When I start this project, it was like a small web series, and then for some reason my friend from Los Angeles, she said, "Oh, you should do a movie with that," and I felt something special with this character, and I developed more the concept, and yeah, it's happened like a feature, and then at the first place I didn't expect to do a trilogy.
You didn't?
Yeah.
It's flowed from the first movie to the last. So what made you think that you needed to continue this?
My character needs to give more.
Oh.
So I think when I create this character, they don't want me to say goodbye. Yet. So basically, because what's so interesting and why I'm so impressed with you is not only do you star in this movie, but you also write this movie and produce it. So do you feel that when you were writing this character, that the character just kept talking to you saying, there's more for me to say and do? Yeah, sure. And I guess if I was more chance to interact with bigger production like Netflix and do a TV series, and I think we can, because this character is so special in my eyes, and we have a lot of connection because it's US and Europe. So we speak in this movie in English and French.
You mentioned you believe, and so I'm going to believe as well, that this can turn into a series, and a series on Netflix, and I love it because now when you do a series, you can drop 13 episodes at one time.
Yeah.
So if this was to become a series based on, we're getting to the third part of the series, I mean, how do you transition that to a series at that point?
I mean, I can reboot.
Ooh.
I can reboot.
Now, explain to our audience reboot.
Reboot, that means you redo it again in different way. But the concept stay the same. I mean, I don't want to completely change my character. I want to improve my character for sure, but I don't want to cut the best part of the drama.
Oh, yes, which is really important because that's what carries the story.
Yeah.
And while you were able to continue it through number 3 right now, which is you just finished shooting. But then I also too, what's really interesting too, because you, not only are you in front of the camera, but you're writing the characters, but you're producing as well. I want to talk a little bit as a producer. How do you find these different locations so that you can continue to tell this story from country to country?
So just simple, we rent some location, and we also shoot inside locations. I mean, like if you are inside an apartment, it's you can do everywhere, and it just establishing shot can be you can nowadays with you can shoot in Paris and you can faking Los Angeles.
You have these 3 locations. You finished in Los Angeles, and we're so happy we were able to get you before you left. And now you need to, as a producer, and then also to writer as well, you need to pull this all together in the edit bay. How do you do that once you have all of these different locations, and now you now need to put it together so that now we can see the 3rd part of the series?
My character needs to travel.
You need to travel. That's good. I love it.
Yeah, I need to travel, and he was in love. He was falling in love with this a character named Melissa Jordan, and so yeah, Melissa Jordan. She's played by Christina Okolo.
Okay.
Yeah, Christina Okolo. She's an actress from Atlanta.
Oh, so you brought her in from Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And so basically what you're doing is you're taking actors all over, not just from one place, but you're taking them here in America as well.
Actually, I met her in US.
Really?
So yeah. Because when we start to do this project, one of my friends introduced me some different people. But what I love is to make the difference.
Okay.
So I love that. Not something stereotypical. I don't like that.
Well, and you can do that and when you are shooting independently and moving away from mainstream, because you're able to tell your own story, correct?
When I wrote the script, I have this vision. This vision was simple. When I said, I have the look, the way I want, you know. And sometimes when you think about it and you receive a headshot from actress, and you have to find out who is the best for the part. And then when I saw this actress, she reminded me Angela Bassett. She had a strong voice and charisma.
Yes.
And for this film, we need a character like that.
You needed someone that was strong and had, I mean, when we think of Angela Bassett, we think of just her tone and her delivery, but there's a little bit of sultry behind her. So you got this in this actress. So how do you get her to deliver it the way that you envisioned? Or she was just a natural?
No, she was natural, and I don't need to be worried about that, because the first time I met her, I felt it. And every character fit very well on this project. So
because you just knew that they would fit perfectly into that specific role?
Yeah, she was very good for this part.
Wow. Okay. And so it's talking about parts. So we talked about the female lead. Now I want to talk about you and how you write for yourself, because that's really interesting. I mean, that's very talented that you can write a character and write about, you know, you're picturing yourself, and then you're able to deliver that on screen. So how do you do that?
I love put in the table all ingredients for make my acting stronger and stronger. That's what I want. I love improve. So film after film, I think I elevate everything, quality and acting. That's you can be happy right now, but and then a couple of months after, you said, okay, and the next will be better.
Well, and you have continued to do that from the first movie to the third movie. And so we've already talked about the future of what we would like to see for this series. Before we end our conversation today, and thank you so much for letting me just pick your brain about how you go through this process of not only developing these characters, but talking about your actresses and how you choose your locations. I mean, our audience really likes to hear the behind the scenes. But what I think is important, and I know it's a question that I would like to ask you, is how do you see Alan's career 5 years from now, where would we see Alan? What will you be doing next?
Stay healthy first.
Yes.
Yeah, stay healthy, and who knows? Who knows the future? Nobody knows. And so keep doing what I love the most, movie, and we'll see. We'll see, because my ambitions is huge, of course,
Yes.
but you know, we never know. It can happen, and but the most important thing is to stay into it. The rest is not. You know, if you become a big star, it's good, but if not, it's okay. But the best thing is to stay yourself and be happy what you get already.
And what you get out of it is you're fulfilled out of the characters you get to write.
Yeah. And the new project.
Yeah, talk about the new project.
The new project, the Shaper Code, will be. I think we elevate more everything, and because we learn from our mistake, right? So it's and so Louis, who is a co-director and the executive producer. So we are very deep into it, because we learn some lesson from some little mistake it's happened sometimes, but it's not a big mistake, you know. But you know, when you want to improve
Yes.
your work, you need to always look back.
Exactly, I believe that as well. And so you're looking back and looking towards the future of how you will produce this next project.
Yeah.
Well, will this next project be in more than one location?
Yeah, London, and we rent some place in LA. We rent some place in LA. Right now, we can shoot a movie anywhere, because it's not like it used to be. It's you have a small camera, you can go everywhere. And my mentor, I'm lucky, David Worth, he's a director of Kickboxer.
Okay.
So he teach me so much good things. And so, yeah, it's good to have an eye from huge experience and professional like that.
And I mean, that's the perfect way to end our conversation, is the importance of a mentor. And so with that being said, our viewers will be listening to your story and they want to hear from you. So how can our viewers get in touch with you?
You have Instagram, you have also Facebook,
Yes.
and my YouTube channel.
YouTube. Okay, we'll make sure to share all of that as well. Alan, thank you so much for spending time with us. I mean, this has been a year in the making, so I'm so glad to meet you in person and to hear about what you're doing. But most importantly, I can't wait to see what you do next. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
And come back and meet our second guest, Michelle Tomlinson.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being